Welcome everyone to Kinesiology 745, Assessment in Physical Education. And in this presentation, I'm just going to give you a very general course overview and touch on some of the information in the syllabus. And I'll break this up into two parts. So in part two, I'm going to cover the course assignments. Now keep in mind that whether I review this or not, you are responsible for reading through and understanding all the information in the syllabus. And that also applies to written information that's posted in Moodle, email communications, announcements, podcasts, and even presentations. So get into the habit of checking for all these updates and course information and announcements on a daily basis because you're responsible and accountable for knowing that as well. You have my contact information. It's listed in the syllabus. Keep in mind that because this is the summer session, I am not likely to be on campus, so the best way to contact me is probably through email, but you also have my cell phone number, so if you have an emergency or you need to contact me immediately, feel free to do that. You can also send me a text message as well. There's also the Q&A form in Moodle for you to post course-related questions to. I do check that form. I try to get to it within 24 hours of questions being posted, but keep in mind that everyone in our course can view and respond to questions in that form. So if you have an answer to a posted question, feel free to go ahead and post that up. We have 6 weeks for this course, which is not a lot of time, but there's a lot of work required. So it's important that you plan ahead and avoid procrastinating and putting things off to the end of the week. For example, in the practicum courses, you were allowed to revise your portfolios, but for this class, you are not allowed to make any revisions, rewrites, and you're not given any additional time to complete assignments. So it's important that you submit the best quality work possible the first time. Also understand that the master's program is already impacted and it's already accelerated, so there's not a lot of opportunity for flexibility. So I'll strictly adhere to the due dates and the scheduling expectations as they're listed in the syllabus and or in Moodle. And this summer, I'm sure some of you may have scheduled vacations or other plans, but you're still expected to comply with all the course expectations and deadlines. Now, as you may already know, it's important for your success in the program to set aside some time each day to work on the coursework because you'll get out of it as much as you put into it. And basically, this course is designed to look at various aspects of assessment and the effectiveness of assessment or lack of effectiveness. And since this course falls within the PE emphasis, we're going to view this specifically as it applies to PE or physical education instruction. And so the master's program, the mission statement, the SLOs and PSLOs are listed for you to view there, and we will touch on those. And so also take a look at the course description so you're familiar with what the course is expecting you to do. The required textbook for this course is the Lacey Text, Measurement and Evaluation in Physical Education and Exercise Science. You should already have a copy of this text. If you don't, I suggest that you download the ebook version from the publisher as soon as possible. The tests completed in this course, as well as some of the learning activities, will be developed directly from the textbook, so having it now is important. Also required is the Physical Education Framework for California Public Schools. And this is a document that's really designed to help teachers with a variety of issues and concerns related to teaching physical education. Now, I know that there are many of you who are not PE teachers specifically, and some of you are not even in California, but we will use the assessment model from the Physical Education Framework in developing a standards-based assessment, and I'll explain more about that when I discuss the assignments. You can also see the estimated coursework time chart, which is included in the syllabus, and this provides some estimated times that should be spent on each assignment. Obviously, this is going to vary from student to student, but it gives you an idea as to how much time you should spend on the coursework. And that includes studying, reading, researching, drafting your papers, writing, editing, and anything else that you do towards completing the assignments. Next, you'll see the listing of assignments and the points possible for each. And as I mentioned before, I'll touch on these in the second part of this presentation. But I do want to call your attention to the following statement. All late submissions, which are those posted after the due date and time, will receive a 25% point deduction for each day that it's late. And so assignments after a period of 4 days will not be accepted. So don't let this happen to you. The 25% point deduction is applied after the assignments have been assessed, and this can drastically affect your grade and drastically affect your success in the course. Remember, there are no opportunities to rewrite and resubmit, no second attempts or additional time given to complete coursework. So make sure that you are being proactive and taking care of everything that you need to so you can submit quality work in advance. It's also important to note that This 25% point deduction does not apply to threaded discussions. There are some threaded discussions required in this course, and those are due on Tuesday and Thursday. And if you've missed a deadline for a threaded discussion, you will not receive credit for it. The late penalty does not apply to a threaded discussion. Now keep in mind that this is a master's program, and although I understand life happens, there will always be things that affect our ability to focus on coursework, and really just distract us. But if we avoid procrastinating, if we plan in advance, if we prioritize and spend a little time each day working on class material, and you'll hear me say that over and over again, we'll find that some of those life issues won't have such a big impact on our success. Now, all of the assignments, with the exception of the threaded discussions, must follow APA formatting requirements. If you're unfamiliar with APA formatting guidelines, you can check some of the resources I've posted in Moodle, or just purchase the most recent edition of the APA manual, because failure to adhere to the APA expectations will result in points being deducted from assignments. So be sure you check to make sure that all of your assignments are formatted correctly. Also, all the assignment submissions must be posted as a Microsoft Word document using file formats of .doc or .docx. And if you're using an old word processing program, you can submit your assignments in rich text format, which is .rtf. Any other submissions will not be accepted. They will be considered late. The 25% point deduction will be applied until you are able to post the corrected format. Also, keep in mind that students who have had success in this class and success in the master's program generally have spent between 10 to 20 hours per week focusing on course-related information. And as I mentioned before, that can range from anything from conducting research to reading to writing your assignments. So it's important that you spend a significant amount of time during the week working on your course material. Also note that your FPU email will only be used for the email communications. No personal emails will be used or responded to. There will be times when special announcements, some modifications to the course, and other expectations will be made and communicated through email or Moodle. So you are responsible and accountable for that information, as I also mentioned before. You're expected to listen to any podcast or audio presentations in their entirety. There will be information contained within those that you're responsible for knowing, and oftentimes questions can be answered by simply listening to the entire audio announcement. So be sure you listen to and read all of the information completely. You can also see the grading chart for the master's program. You must receive a B average for all the courses in the program. A grade of C is considered unacceptable, which means you will have to repeat that course. And if you feel you're struggling and don't understand something, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'm here to help you, so feel free to share your thoughts or concerns with me. Also, another thing I want to note, that if you know that you're not a very effective writer, be sure that you seek some assistance. Be sure that you proofread, maybe even have someone else proofread your documents for you, because that can help you drastically throughout this program. And if you're having trouble technically, you can direct any of those questions to the FPU help desk. You can either call or email them with your specific and detailed issue, and I'm sure they will work quickly to resolve any technical problems that you might have. I've also posted some issues in Netiquette for you to understand as well. These should be adhered to when posting any information online, specifically with the threaded discussions. And take a look at the weekly meeting and expectation information. Make a note of when the assignments are due, so you can avoid having that 25% point deduction applied. And if you notice any discrepancies between the syllabus information and what is posted in Moodle, let me know so I can clear up any confusion. But for the most part, the syllabus is always correct. Now, the remainder of the syllabus reviews the university policies, some guidelines, additional expectations that you should familiarize yourself with. And as I mentioned before, regardless of whether or not I've reviewed it, you're responsible for knowing it. So take a moment and read through the rest of the syllabus. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I'm here to help you. I'm here to assist you with learning the material, answering your questions, because there's a lot to be done. My expectations are high and the work is not always simple, so it will require you to devote a lot of your time, effort, and attention to completing these assignments effectively. Now, I hope you find this course informative, practical, and helpful, both personally as well as professionally. So that'll be it for now. Take care, and I will see you online.